Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. A federal high court in Lagos State, Southwest Nigeria has ordered former aviation minister Femi Fani-Kayode be remanded in prison pending determination of his bail application. Fani-Kayode was arraigned on Tuesday alongside 3 others on charges bordering on money laundering. Others charged for the alleged crime are former Minister of Finance, Senator Nenandi Usman, a firm Joint Trust Dimensions Limited, and one person identified as Jimoh Yusuf. Their bail applications are expected to be heard on Friday this week. Nigeria's Senate President Bukola Saraki says he's ready to lose his freedom to entrench democracy and stabilize governance in the country. Saraki was speaking after he and his deputy Ike Ekweremadu were arraigned over alleged forgery of the 2015 Senate standing orders. He also accused the presidency of being behind his legal battles. He said a government within a government had taken control of the Buhari-led administration. His trial was presided over by Justice Yusuf Halilu of the Federal High Court in Abuja. The 2 Senate leaders are being arraigned alongside a former clerk of the National Assembly, Salisu Maikasuwa, and his deputy, Benedict Efeturi. All 4 of them are accused of altering the Senate standing order used in electing leaders and inaugurating the upper chamber on June 9, 2015.
I have said it again and again. People keep asking me to talk about corruption in the judiciary, impunity in the judiciary, and I've always said it. We do have 1 or 2 bad judges, but on the whole, the vast majority of our judges are good men who do their work well under difficult circumstances. And the judge trying this case is not new to me. I have done many cases before him won some, lost some. He's a judge that everybody respects.
CCT is a different ball game altogether, and as you can see, the proceeding is well couched. It's a judicial atmosphere, and all you need to give is the law, and I'm sure we have given him the law.
Meanwhile, the presidency has dismissed the Senate president's claim of having a government within a government. The presidency challenged Saraki to back his claim with more information by identifying those who constitute the government within the government. It said the Attorney General of the Federation is the chief law officer of the state and, quote, it is within his constitutional powers to determine who has infringed upon the law and who hasn't. Niger's Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai has blamed terrorist sect Boko Haram for reports revealing he had several properties in Dubai. The Army Chief was speaking at a media briefing to usher in the Nigerian Army Day celebration in Abuja. According to media reports, General Buratai and 2 of his wives were joint owners of a Dubai property that was paid for in one transaction worth over 115 million naira. Deji Badmosi has more on that report.
He walked into the venue of the press conference without showing any sign of an embattled man.
Please sit down.
Even though this was a press briefing on the forthcoming Army Day celebration, the Nigerian Army Chief should have known journalists were not going to miss this opportunity to confront him over the allegation he owned 2 houses in Dubai. And when the question came, this was his answer.
The federal government has already clarified and made a statement on that through the Ministry of Defense. If you want to get my take on the issue, is that we have already defeated the insurgents and the terrorists on the land. Now they've migrated to cyberspace. They've migrated to the internet and other print, electronic media, and so on. But I want to assure them that these terrorists, the Boko Haram terrorists who have migrated to the cyberspace, will follow them to that cyberspace and equally defeat them and clear their doubts. I think that's what I will say in that respect.
Recently, the Nigerian Army dismissed 38 senior officers for misconduct. Some of the dismissed officers have been fighting back, accusing the Army authorities of not giving them the opportunity to defend themselves. General Buratai, however, dismissed the accusation, saying due process was followed through in the dismissals.
It's a good idea that some of them are opting to go to the court. Let them go. I think that's the right place for them to get redress if at all they were wronged. And some of them have written, and I assure you that we will respond to them appropriately. We have our legal department who have looked at the allegations against them, and they have legally advised accordingly. So, and also the Army Council, in its wisdom, had taken the right decision. If there are other areas that they need to clarify, they need clarification or they are not sure of, let them, as advised, take the necessary action.
The Army chief also responded to allegations by a group of Niger Delta militants that some military personnel might be plotting a coup to oust the current government in the country.
We are investigating the source of this insinuation, the source of this allegation. And it is in our own interest to look at every aspect of such allegations in the interest of national security and national defense. And this is quite in line with our responsibilities. So we'll continue to monitor, and anyone who's trying to destabilize this democratic dispensation, I think he's making a very big mistake. We continue to remain apolitical as a military institution, as an army, and we've said it, we are much, much better under democracy than what happened in the past.
Buratai also debunked reports that Nigerian soldiers were fighting Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast of the country with refurbished weapons.
The issue of refurbished equipment or not, I think is still part of their campaign of calumny, campaign, against the good job that we've been doing. So it's very clear. I think someone had responded to that. So please, I will still refer you to that aspect, to that theater commander who mentioned this thing. Because they are the beneficiaries, they know whether it is refurbished or not. And whatever happened, I want to assure you that I am highly concerned about doing the right thing. And I personally have been probing myself. My officers will know that we've instituted several investigations. We're even carrying out internal audit of all formations and all units. So they know my position, and will maintain that position.
It remains to be seen whether the Army chief's response here will put paid to all the allegations against him and the Army. But if he experiences anything to go by, we just may not have had the last word on all the allegations. Deji Bademasi, TV360, Lagos.
The Nigerian Army has warned the general public of a new ploy used by Boko Haram militants to coordinate attacks. In a statement issued, the Army said the terrorists now disguise themselves as vigilantes or hunters to evade easy detection. The statement noted the case of Kudakaya village in Madagali community of Adamawa State, northeast Nigeria, where a group of Boko Haram militants dressed like vigilantes opened fire on people during a ceremony. The Army thereby advised the public to be wary of unsubscribed services or presence of vigilantes or hunters in their neighborhoods in order not to harbor the killer group. Barely 4 days after a daring jailbreak at the Kuje prison in Abuja, Nigerian officials said they will carry out a review of security arrangements at all prisons in the country. Minister of Interior Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambazao, who's retired, revealed this when he visited the Kuje prison in Abuja, the nation's capital. General Dambazao explained that the new arrangement would ensure that there is no recurrence of the jailbreak. 2 inmates who escaped from the prison are still on the run, according to authorities. The Nigerian Police Service has also already begun investigations into the jailbreak. Governor Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State has vowed to fight back barely a day after Federal High Court annulled his election. The court said Ikpeazu was guilty of tax evasion and was therefore unqualified to have contested the 2015 governorship election in the state. It ordered Nigeria's electoral body INEC to issue a certificate of return to Samson Oga, a member of the People's Democratic Party who contested the governorship ticket with the governor. Ikpeazu urged his supporters not to panic, saying he has instructed his lawyers to file an appeal immediately against the judgment. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Ibe Kachukwu says Nigeria is making progress in talks with Niger Delta militants. He said the country's daily oil production has risen back to 1.9 million barrels per day. Speaking in China, Kachukwu said Nigeria would hit its budgetary mark of 2.2 million barrels per day by July when the repairs at the Forcados terminal are done. Nigeria's oil output had fallen to a 30-year low due to a series of attacks on oil and gas pipelines in the southern Niger Delta region by a group known as the Niger Delta Avengers. After snubbing an invitation to dialogue with the Nigerian government, the militant group made a U-turn and stated a number of conditions it expects the government to meet before it would engage in any form of dialogue. A new shopping mall is now open for business in the city of Lagos State, southwest Nigeria. The mall, commissioned on Tuesday by the president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Onikekpo Akonde, is located in the heart of Maryland. Hundreds of residents in Lagos State came out to witness the opening of the new mall as well as enjoy all of its services. The unique black and purple themed mall was financed and developed by Purple Capital Partners Limited for an estimated sum of 5.8 billion naira. Speaking at the event, the company gave reasons why it chose Maryland as a location for the mall it began developing about 3 years ago.
It's very key that we develop the inner cities of Lagos and ensure that we take infrastructure to them as well, and not just the islands should be developed. So that's motivated the key for us to continue to push in the direction of developing this center at Maryland. This building is very secure. There are over 100 cameras in and around the building. Every single thing is monitored. Cars, plate numbers, there's smoke detectors all around the building and heat-sensitive detectors as well. The entire building is very efficient and effective in itself. It shows you, it clearly defines what you will find anywhere else in the world. There's a people counter that tells us how many people come into the building and come out of the building. So in terms of human traffic, car traffic, security in itself, we worked with Lagos State. We've worked with Lagos State Transport Ministry, LASMA, and we worked with all the other facets of the environment in Lagos to ensure that we have a product that is secured, is traffic-free, and ensures that anybody can come in here at any point in time and have fun.
Via its high-class environment, great. Ikeja footfall guaranteed due to the population density, but Maryland is a strategic outlet because you can connect anywhere in Lagos State from Maryland here. So this is like the central location that any shopping mall, modern trade center can ever enjoy this kind of space. So for me, Maryland is quite unique because of the strategic location of the mall.
Nigeria is tilting towards retail business in a big way. This is not only our outlets. We've been there in all the outlets like Jabi Lake, Festival Mall, Lekki. These are all malls. And business in the mall is more convenient because it gives the shoppers the leeway to accessing the shop in a convenient place. The shop is beautiful, the ambience is cool, the location is interesting, so you're shopping with convenience and you're happy. When you talk of prices, our prices are moderate and considerably cheap. Even in the open market, there is no difference. Nothing like because it's ShopRite, you have a higher price. No. What we are assuring you is getting the best quality of devices at the best price, supported with excellent customer service.
The Nigerian police force has confirmed the withdrawal of its officials from individuals and organizations who it says don't have any need for them. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris made this known at his inaugural press briefing in Abuja, the nation's capital. He said the measure is aimed at tackling corruption, terrorism and abuse of power within the force at federal, state and local government levels.
The mobile police and the counter-terrorist unit, we are going to withdraw them from individuals. And this time, I'm just assuring you we mean it. We are going to withdraw police mobile force and counter-terrorist unit from individuals. And you are going to see it. It's going to be practical. So it's not a speculative something. Like I said, we have more serious security challenges in the northeast, in the southwest, in the what do you call it, south-south, the pipelines. We don't deploy people to become bodyguards to people. Mobile are not trained as bodyguard. They are trained as a group response unit to take care of riots, and they are going back to their primary responsibility. I'm just telling you that I make a solemn this here that I'm going to withdraw them from individuals.
Don Awona, the newly appointed spokesperson for the Nigerian Police Force, has resumed duty. He was appointed by the Acting Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris. Awona replaces ACP Olabisi Kolawole, who was the force public relations officer from August 2015 to June 2016. Until his new appointment, Awona was a Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the Homicide Section of the Force Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department in Abuja.
There is transition in the Nigerian Police Force. We have a new IGP Ibrahim Idris, MNI. So, according to the tradition of the police, we are to be transferred from one office to the other. So as it is now, I'm leaving as the first public relations officer. But I want to thank all of you. You know, the support I enjoyed during my tenure as first PRO was enormous. You were with me through thick and thin. You were with me through ups and downs. You gave me the support. And now we can say that the Nigerian Police Force is succeeding in bridging the gaps between the public and the police. We are fighting crimes and we are winning. That is due to the support we got from the press and the public. So this is to say that community policing relationship, partnership worked well. And this, I still ask you and join you to continue. Transition is just officer leaving. The office is there. So I want to plead with you and ask for that same support that you've given to me to give to the new first PRO.
This job I'm doing, I cannot do it without your support. And any of the Inspector of Police is so cautious of the press and is prepared to work with you day and night. I want to invite you to support this organization, the Nigerian Police Force. With the press and the police, we facilitate and process democracy. And any country that plays with the press must start it. Equally any organization. So I appreciate and I understand the critical role you play in crime prevention, in crime detection. If we catch all the criminals in the world, without you, the world will not know about it. I pledge to give you all my cooperation. Consider me as one of you.
Ahmed McCarthy, who is the chairman of PDP's National Caretaker Committee, has urged factional chairman of the party, Ali Modushev, to toe the path of dialogue over the Edo governorship election. McCarthy was speaking in Abuja when he received the report of the PDP Edo governorship primaries. He said it was important for the party to work together, as INEC had stated that it required 21 days' notice to monitor any primary election. The PDP has been immersed in a leadership crisis for some months now, which culminated in the party having two different factions. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at business and sports stories. Don't go away.
From the multi-award-winning filmmaker.
What were you doing at the beach resort?
The first ever Pan-African movie.
We've all met at company retreats in the past before.
Each one with a mission and a strategy to determine who will be the next CEO.
I Googled you last night and I came up with nothing. Nada.
I'm off the grid. I fly below the signal.
Coming to the cinemas from the 15th of July, 2016.
10 VIP CEO premiere tickets and 20 autographed DVDs up for grabs when you pay for the OLX Do It For Me service from 6th of June to 1st of July 2016. Visit olx.com.ng to book a champ now.
OLX, sell it!
Corruption not in my country.
Mr. John! Mr. John! What is it now?
What is it now?
Please turn down the volume of your music. It's too loud.
And how is that your business?
It is disturbing me. I can't sleep.
And the same way you are disturbing my right to good music and where I enjoy it. What's wrong with you? Is there another person complaining?
Maybe we thought that you have lost your mind. Are you having a party?
I'm just respecting you, sir. You remember I paid my husband too.
You will not understand why we are complaining because you do not care about other people except yourself. Look, the transformation we need in this country begins in this compound.
Yes, now.
From you, and I. This your selfishness is an offshoot of corruption. And corruption
not in my country.
Go to your bank. Go.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Niger's President Muhammad Buhari has questioned the benefits of the recent devaluation of the Naira by the CBN. Speaking to a gathering of business leaders, President Buhari said he still could not see the benefit of the Naira's currency peg against the US dollar being removed. The CBN had on Monday, June 20th, removed the exchange rate peg of 197 Naira to a dollar in an effort to improve the chronic scarcity of foreign currency that has choked the growth of the Nigerian economy. In a letter to President Buhari, the CBN had said it hoped the Naira would eventually trade at around 250 per dollar, a level the president has since approved. Still on Nigeria's currency, the CBN has sold an undisclosed amount of hard currency on the interbank market to ease the dollar scarcity. The move is expected to provide importers with dollars to pay for their products. The Naira ended at $282.50, slightly weaker than the 281 Naira to the dollar it first traded at on Tuesday, more than 3 hours after a market opened. The CBN has been selling dollars on the interbank market since it ended its 16-month-old currency peg rate last week. It sold again on Tuesday, asking currency traders for bid-offer quotes. Still on business, Nigerian stocks extended losses on Tuesday amid fears that demand for riskier assets will evaporate. There's also fear that the flow of foreign funds into Nigeria will dry up as a result of Britain's vote to leave the European Union last week. The main stock index shed 1.66% at 29,348 points, dragged down by banking, oil and consumer goods shares. UK financial markets have remained volatile in the wake of the Brexit vote. The sterling on Monday plunged to a 31-year low against the dollar. Oil prices rose above $48 per barrel on Tuesday. Investors took advantage of a two-day slide in crude oil following Britain's vote to leave the European Union. Brent crude was up $48.24 per barrel, while US crude futures rose to $47.39 per barrel. Oil fell more than 77% to 7-week lows in the previous two sessions on the back of the British vote to leave the EU. At least 43 people who have been killed in fighting between armed groups and government forces around the northwest South Sudanese town of Wau. Thousands fled the clashes in the world's newest country, still hit by violence almost 5 years after securing its independence from former civil war foe Sudan. The killings come months after a peace deal was reached with the rebels inside its own borders. Government forces had had battled fighters loyal to Ali Tamim Fatan, a militia leader trying to control territory further west near the border with Central African Republic. UK's vote to leave the European Union has led to bitter exchanges in the European Parliament during the debate for UK's vote to leave the EU. A central figure in the Leave campaign, UKIP's Niger Farage, was booed, called a liar, and at one point accused of using Nazi propaganda. Farage, however, accused the Parliament of being in denial. The session comes ahead of a meeting between EU leader and UK Prime Minister David Cameron. Cameron, who announced his resignation shortly after the Brexit vote, has said it is up to his successor to guide the country as it leaves the EU. He's expected to stay on in office until October. Moving on to sports stories now. I beg your pardon. National rugby coach Fabian Juris has named his 23-man squad for camping ahead of the 2019 Rugby World Cup qualifiers. Christian Olga and Okafor, thank God, who are both based in South Africa, topped the list released by the Nigerian Rugby Football Federation on Monday. Nigeria is yet to make an appearance at the World Cup since it began in 1987. The World Cup qualifying tournament will hold between July 12th and July 19th in Morocco. England manager Roy Hodgson has resigned from his post after the country's shock second-round exit at the 2016 European Championship. The team had been defeated by Iceland. The Three Lions, who were pre-tournament favourite, failed to recreate their attacking rhythm as they lost 2-1 to Iceland. Hodgson, whose contract was set to expire after the tournament, announced his resignation at the post-match press conference. French champions Paris Saint-Germain has confirmed the appointment of Unai Emery as the club's new manager. He replaces Laurent Blanc, who was sacked on Monday despite leading the team to 11 trophies during his 3-year spell in charge of the team. Emery will be handed the task of succeeding where Blanc ultimately failed, delivering European success to the capital club. Emery, however, has a track record of success on the European stage, having led his former club, Sevilla, to 3 consecutive Europa League trophies. Well, that's all we have on news now. We thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Kuro.